Don't ever hire a realtor unless you know these couple of things. My name is Fadi Kudair. I'm a local realtor with Sutton Group Ottawa. And if you want to know about real estate, this is a channel for you, Canada on the Rocks. So let's talk about hiring a realtor. Finding the right realtor or real estate agent is always going to make it or break it for you. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Your agent is really going to make it or break it for you. What I mean by that is, well, first off, you got to make sure that you're hiring an agent that you have a little bit of chemistry with. What I mean by chemistry, you're not taking them out on dating. It's not dating, but at least you have that sort of back and forth sort of interest. Your values somewhat align. Hire an agent that's going to have a little bit more skin in the game. They know what the market looks like. They really have a lot of context. They do know how to source a beautiful home for you or a beautiful commercial property for you. And they have the know-how, they have the skills, they also have the right tools. What I mean by right tools as well too, for example, being able to give you a certain access, being able to give you access to an exclusive properties, things like that. And then also the knowledge that comes with being able to back up that offer that they're going to put in, being able to understand the market and give you a full undivided attention when it comes to working with you. More important, you have to make sure that when you're selecting them, that they're putting your best interest up above everything else. It's not about the money that the agent is making. It's about the service they're delivering to you. It's not about how much they're going to charge you, because at the end of the day, it's the seller that's paying for it. Even if they're charging you an arm and a leg, you want to make sure that you're not losing your house. So hire somebody that cares for you first, cares about your house first. They put your interest above theirs, and then move forward. What to look for when you're looking for a real estate agent? Obviously, there's a few characteristics that you really have to have in that agent to make sure that you guys are the right fit for one another. So let's get started and talk a little bit more about some of these. One, how much experience do they have? You want to ask the questions like, how long you've been doing this? How many people do you serve? How many transactions have you done in the last, couple of years? How many people do you have on your team? Are you working within a team? Are you working solo? What's your brokerage looks like? What's your backup looks like? If you're not around, who's going to be behind to support me? If you're sick, who's going to be available to jump in? Those kind of questions that really comes and resonate with you when it comes to experience, you want to ask all of those. You also want to ask them, like, what do their clients look like? What type of clients do they work with? Do they have any testimonials from these clients? Are those testimonials recent, or is it just something that they put on their, Google review 10 years ago? How many Google reviews do they have? All of that stuff. And again, are these really, like, when you're looking at their clients, are those the ideal clients that, that represent you? Because at the end of the day, like, if you guys, for example, if I'm working with an agent that's just all they do is first-time home buyers, I don't necessarily want to work with that agent if I'm looking at relocating, right? You want to know the type of clients they work with, and if that's you. You also want to talk about responsiveness. You want to see how well these agents are going to respond to you. Like, what's the level of communication that you guys have? What type of communication skills that this agent has? And is it fitting with you? This is, if we go back to talking about chemistry, this is something that you want to kind of make sure that it's available before you start that engagement. Also, if you want to talk about the chemistry, do you trust them to actually put your interest up front? Or are you worried that they're going to be doing it for their own good? Does the agent have knowledge with the neighborhood that you're looking to buy? Have they worked in that neighborhood before? What type of knowledge do they have in that neighborhood? And feel free to test them out. At the end of the day, like, it's just like dating, right? Like, you want to be able to know that at the end of the day, this person has my best interest at heart, and they're going to be serving me properly. And I know this because I've tested them on all of those things. I know this because they have the exact knowledge of what I'm looking for in that neighborhood. Like, I'm not going to be, for example, if you're looking at purchasing something all the way in Alexandria, I'm the wrong agent for you, because that's not my area of expertise. But if you want to work with something like Canada or Stittsville, I can serve you no problem. Those are the questions that you want to ask the agents. Also, you want to see if they're attentive or not. Are they going to be the ones that if I send them a question, they take 7 hours to reply, or they take, maybe half an hour to, a couple of hours to reply? You want to be reasonable, obviously, where nobody wants to be needy. Nobody wants to work with a needy buyer or a seller. But in the same token, you want to be reasonable. right? You want to have reasonable response as well from that agent. So make sure that all of those questions are asked up front. I've talked about how you're looking to, get the proper agent working for you, but it also is on you to make sure that you understand how real estate agents work. At the end of the day, we are working on commission, so it's commission only. So with that being said, you want to make sure that the agent is really well invested. And obviously, I'm not going to get paid unless we get you a deal. I don't get paid until I find you the right home. So in order to do that, I want to make sure that I'm really digging deeper and finding the appropriate home for you. So it's in my best interest to do that. Now, the other thing too is you have to be on time. Don't expect the agent to always be on time and you showing up half an hour, 20 minutes, because guess what? Let's say we have 6 or 7 showings in a row and you show up for the first one late, the whole entire day is ruined. And it just leaves a bad taste in the agent's mouth. And not only that, but they're always going to be giving you the wrong, for example, if you're always showing up 15 minutes late, I'm going to give you the next appointment, I'm going to give you a 15-minute head start. Also, avoid contacting the listing agent. This is massive. The reason why I say avoid contacting the listing agent, because at the end of the day, we have something called agency. And if I'm working for you, I'm either you're representing you as a seller or representing you as a buyer, you want to have, my best interest is make sure that I have your best interest at heart. So, but if I'm the buyer and I'm contacting the listing agent, we know that the loyalty for that listing agent lies within making sure that their seller is good. So why would I want to contact them? I'm secondary. I know at the end of the day, whatever I'm going to ask them, they have full obligation to bring it back to the seller, but they also, the loyalty lies within them and the seller. So always have your own agent. Just like a lawyer, you're not going to go and try to divorce both people using the same lawyer. You're not going to get the best sort of coverage or the best sort of, agency, if you will, if the agent is going to be representing both parties. It's always good to have an agent that's completely disengaged and only engaged with you, and they only have your best interest at heart. The other thing too is you always want to make sure that you're both on the same page. If me and my realtor are talking about stuff, I want to make sure that he understands or she understands what I'm looking for, how I'm looking for it, and really just a full, open up, be transparent and honest with the agent about what you want. Make sure you have an agreement with them as well too. And a lot of people, especially buyers, try to avoid that like it's the plague. It's actually wrong. It's a lot of the times it's a protection for you, and you have all right to cancel that agreement at any point. And it's a lot more protection for you than it is a protection for us and our commissions. And it's also allowing me to work extra hard for you, knowing that you're committed to me. Keep expectations very transparent. This is really big because you want to make sure that, look, I'm only going to purchase a house if it makes sense for me and my family. I'm only going to move in this neighborhood if it makes sense for me and my family. So just keep your expectations transparent, and also be ready to buy. Don't go and hire an agent if you're just going to search around. You know what? Just ask them to put you on a search and let them kind of send you a listing here and there. And that's fine by us, because at the end of the day, we know you're not ready. So be ready when you're coming in. Perfect. So that's really all you need when you're looking at hiring an agent. Just check out all of those and make sure that you are working with somebody that you really click with. For more information like this, for more tips and tricks about real estate, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Like it if you like it. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get more information like that when our channel releases any new videos. Thanks again.